again?
Some Wildcats.
Hey, you hear me? We back with it, man.
You're listening to Some Wildcats.
You guys represent what is best in America.
Hey, Craig, let me ask you, do you use the same type of Beijing, or do you just, like, you mix that up? like you do just for men?
These dudes, boy.
Y'all, I'm getting ready to put y'all up on something, man.
From the DMV to Wildcats. Now, let's start the show.
Okay, here we go, man. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
What is up, family? Yes, we are back. Some Wildcats podcast coming to you live from some Wildcats studios, straight out of the DMV. I am Craig Black. What's up, family? You know what? This is season 5. 5 seasons we've been doing our podcast. Episode 1, baby. And I couldn't do it without my family in the building. Got to bring in my man first. My dude. He thinks he's a coach. Well, he is a coach. Let me stop hating on him. He is a coach. He goes by AKA Keith the Freak, AKA Coach Keith, AKA he's in the building, man. What's up, Keith?
Hey, man, did you just question about me being a coach?
It was a
That's
joke,
how we
man.
starting the season on?
Oh, man. I'm just joking, man. Just jokes.
What's up with you?
Man, what's up with you, man? First show of 2023 at that, man.
So now we've been doing this for 5 years. That's crazy.
5 years. Y'all some old Bammers. That's all I got to say, dude. Y'all 5 years in the books. All right. And let's bring my other partner to the room, my dude, and AKA the agent. We don't call him that no more. AKA the old man. What's up, Ant?
Man, these folks renewed our contract for another year. Oh, man.
5 years, baby. They let us back. They let us back on the show. And last but you know what? We may have a special guest later. We don't know. You never know. You never know. But last but not least, we got to bring in the wallet, AKA the money, AKA he pays all the bills, but we ain't got none. My man Dirk. What's up, Dirk?
What's up, Black? What's up, family? Everybody good in 2023?
Yeah. We're good, man. We're good. Man, 5 years, fellas. 5 years.
5 years. Just it started with a bus ride to Syracuse.
Yes, the creation of the FIUU. Yes.
yes, you're right about that.
Hold on. How do I point? That dude right there. That dude right there.
Hey, man, all I'm going to say is I was protecting y'all the same way I've been doing for the last 35 years.
Hey, don't let fat ass hear that.
Oh my God, man, that dude, boy, one of the worst. Okay, all right. So let's break it down for the peoples, man. This podcast about us and our friendship over the last, man. We got to be up to like 45 right now, for real. We got to be at least 45 years, man. 45?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. We can't claim the mother Bammers. Okay, about 35, 40.
At the age of 7.
Man, that's crazy, boy. And this podcast is about the topics we want to cover because we want to give a goddamn about what you think. It's all about what we think, baby. All right, let's get it going. Let's jump right into it. Man, how do you segue to it, man? Tyre Nichols, the brutal assault, and I don't know, man. My spin on it is straight up him being assaulted the way he was in the climate that's going on right now from 2020, that we had this uproar over police brutality. Hell, that's been going on for all our lives. As long as I've been alive, police brutality been there. But it boiled over in the country in 2020 with the pandemic and all that, the protests, we had all that. And to come back and have Kyrie be beat the way he was by 5 black police officers. I mean, it's kind of I can't even phrase it any other way. It's just really fucked up. It really is. I mean, it would be bad if any police officer did it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, but it's just the fact that I would think that in that climate that all these men lived through, that they would have thought that somebody would have stopped and been like, hey, you know what we're doing is just wrong. It's like, but obviously that didn't happen. So I don't know. I let y'all, I let some of y'all expound on. I got some more. I was gonna play it. I wasn't gonna play it. I was gonna play it. I wasn't gonna play it. So I think I may play a smidget of the video.
I knew he couldn't keep it all.
I may play a smidget of the video, but nevertheless, just for some reactions, man, I'll go around the table.
Me personally, I mean, like I said, it don't matter if it's black or white. It just was a brutal, unfortunate, avoidable situation that you would, like you said, Craig, you would thought some other individuals that was around, just said enough is enough. I mean, I know the individual ran a few times, they was upset about he was running away from them. He would not give him his hand. I mean, it's just a lot of things that were happening that the situation just escalated. And me personally, I'm like, why are you running if you didn't do anything? You know what I mean? It's like, why are you not giving them your arm to just handcuff you and be gone, be done with it? I mean, it was a lot of dynamics, a lot of things going on. Certainly, by all means, I'm not saying that the cops should have did what they did. No, I'm not saying that. That was just unnecessarily and brutally forced, that was put upon that young man for no reason. But I'm just like, just give, you know what I mean? Just here, take my arm. I mean, you know what I'm saying? No, you don't need to break my arm to give. And we all know, we all been in situations. We've been in situations together as far as related to cops. So we not. This is not like we haven't been immune to something like to this extent. But we all been pull out the car. We all been sit on the curb. We all been go through the car, and we know it's like nothing in the car was in there, but you had to deal with it. You had to take.
Slim, like this the difference. This the difference with this to me, and it's just piggybacking off of what you said. The difference is this was clearly in a so-called high crime neighborhood where this was a task force that was put together. So the aggression was probably already there. Like you saying, just get your arm up. But I mean, at that point, Slim probably was scared for his life. But what I saw in that video was it had my emotions all over the place, as far as being pissed off about what was going on, being hurt with the fact that that man was helpless and getting beat the way that he was getting beat. I mean, like, we've seen shit like that at the Black Hole, at a go-go, where a nigga getting jumped, and it's just, these were professional people that's supposed to protect and serve the neighborhood or the community. And like I haven't been able to watch the whole video. I've always cut it off. And I'm gonna say this: I was the one in our production meeting that was telling Craig, don't play it again, because I honestly don't want to see it again. But the way that they was beating Slim, where his body was already limp, and they was still just kind of, the one dude was hitting him, and he was hitting him and knocking him in another direction, and he just kind of squaring up so he can get another shot on him. And it was just like, it was overkill, and for it to be coming from somebody that looked just like him, it's no explanation for it. It's no way to make sense out of what happened.
But it's like they didn't even care. I mean, they had body cams. You got cameras up in the telephone pole. I mean, everything. It was like, it wasn't nothing to be discreet. It wasn't gonna,
No, I mean, like I said,
they knew it was big recording it. It's like they didn't care.
It was supposed to be a so-called high crime area. So this task force was put together to go combat the neighborhood. So that's the way that they come into work every night. It's us against them. We're gonna go get whoever off the street. But that man may not have been part of the reason that was there. He may have just been in that neighborhood, and
no, his mother's house was like 2 blocks away.
But
his mother's house was right down the street.
I was watching something on CNN today where they were saying that one of the dudes had only been on the force for 2 years, and he's on a specialized task force, and he's only a 2-year. I wouldn't even call him a veteran. In 2 years, he's still learning how to be a regular beat police officer. And now you going on this special unit that's supposed to stop whatever's going on in the neighborhood. I don't know, man. None of it made sense to me.
But even that situation, if we go to like just some training day, just like the white guy was with Denzel, it's like you following the veterans. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's going on. You I'm trying to get home to my family. Let me follow these guys, the veterans, to see how things supposed to transpire.
None of those 5 guys were ever in any harm or in jeopardy of being harmed at all.
Well, you know what, man? The thing that's probably even scarier right now, man, is that I think that a black person getting beat by the police is nobody surprised by that. Him getting beat by black men, I think that kind of took people back a little bit. But the problem I got is that I think we as a not just a black race or a white race or whatever, we just as people here in the United States have just become desensitized to this because it just happens so fucking frequently. And it just is the one thing I will say that's a little different than what we've seen in the past is that whoever his bosses, supervisors, man, whatever it was, they didn't hesitate to suspend and fire these guys and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas before they had to figure out if they were going to indict them, and then if they indicted them, or if they did indict them and stuff, you got to go through a trial. Here, they fired them. You got to think back not too long ago, so far ago in the future, a year ago, dudes were still sitting home getting paid. And so we just as a community, and I know I'm just thinking, what's going to come out of this? This dude getting his ass beat for nothing. What's going to come out of this? And I hate to say that, it don't seem like anything's going to come out of it.
But regardless of what comes out of it, it's not going to bring that man back. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, let me go to the comments real quick. We got Lynn Brady's. She says, "Why weren't the first 2 officers included?" The white cop said he hoped they stomped his ass, and the first black officer was fighting him as well.
I saw that.
I didn't realize that it was more. It was 5 of them. I didn't realize it was, the only thing that I saw there as well.
Black. The other thing that I saw about those other 2 cops were they were from a completely different jurisdiction. That was what was said on CNN today, that they were from a different jurisdiction. So they were there. I don't know if they were part of that task force or what, but they were from a different jurisdiction than those guys from Memphis.
Also, another comment, Gabriel Burrows. Northwest, what's up, Gabriel? What's going on, man? He said the video was awful, probably the worst act of violence we've seen done to any man.
Yeah.
And just to hear this young man plead for his life and the end calling for his mother, it was heartbreaking.
I agree, Gabe. I agree, man. I couldn't watch the whole thing.
But fellas, the thing that really I'm fearful of, my son just started driving. He's 17 years old. And for him to come encounter with a cop right now, I'm scared. I'm telling him what the situation. I'm telling him to do what you have to do. Give him your information. You know what I mean? The same thing that we was told to do when we was coming up. You know what I mean? It's like, but it's worse. And I fear for him driving, leaving out the house, and possibly not coming back home because of what? A traffic violation?
I mean, but all we can do is kind of prepare them for that. Not really prepare them for that, but how to handle it. You know what I mean? As far as hey, look, man, if they pull you over, they're gonna ask for your license and registration, give you your license and registration, blah blah blah, and try to try to be as calm as you can in that situation. But hell, I mean, just like you said, all of us been pulled over together. The first time that happens, you nervous as hell because you don't know what to expect. You don't know how it's gonna go.
Nope. I mean, when we got pulled over, we were just fearful that hopefully they wouldn't plant something on us. You know,
Hell
that's
yeah.
We was worried about then getting beat up or something. This is different, man. It's different.
It was like when we were young, and I ain't gonna lie, we was a lot more arrogant with it too. I mean, it was like, man, we were it was kind of reckless. It was because we were young, so it was like,
what you pulling us over for?
What you pulling for? I know I ain't got nothing on me, so what the hell you messing with me for? It was that type of attitude, you know. What are you doing? Go find somebody that's really messing up and doing something, you know. But I don't know. What I'm gonna do now, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna I am. Yes, I am. It's a Wildcats podcast coming to you live from some Wildcat Studios straight out the DMV. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter at some Wildcats, and we're talking about the Tyre Nichols.
I don't think we need to show it.
And we're gonna fly. And Keith does want to show. We're gonna show. I'm gonna cut it. I'm not gonna play. It's a long video.
I don't
think we need to see it. Everybody has seen it. They made a spectacle out of it.
I'm gonna play a portion.
We don't need to show it again.
I'm gonna play a portion of it. Okay. Close your eyes for a second.
That's insensitive, Creed.
Close your eyes. I'm gonna cut it right there. I'm gonna cut it right there because he was gonna start. They were gonna start wailing on him, and it was gonna get real ugly after that part. That was the actually long version of the video, without sound. But it's really just what can you say? It's fucked up. That's what it is. And to go on a different side of this, Anthony, you mentioned that the black cops were actually fired immediately when this happened. You know, they weren't in other situations. They had to go do this research and find out whether, see the video and do all this, detective work before they fired anybody, put them on administrative leave. But the black cops were fired immediately. On the flip side of it, the way I see it is like, had that been 5 white cops that beat the black dude,
this shit ain't a black and white thing.
Listen. Can I finish my statement? Are you let me finish my statement? If had it been 5 white cops beating the black dude like that, would the protest been even greater? Because protests been going on, but it hasn't been like we experienced in 2020. The outrage, it goes back to the old adage. It's like the black on black crime, that old bullshit. We don't want to say nothing when it comes to in our hood and all that. We back off of it. We don't protest. We don't go crazy like that. But where was the jump off, the straight up in the city, in the streets, marching, right when this happened? You know what I'm saying? Where was the ignite that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's
but Craig, that's kind of that's the point.
It's two sides.
But Craig, that's the point that I was making, where we as a society have become desensitized to it, where it's just like, it's all like, there's no surprise. It's almost like we expect it to happen. It's like, all right, who the police gonna beat up this week?
But it's almost just like black on black crime, like we've been used to growing up over the years anyway. Like you said, Anthony, you get immune to it, which we shouldn't, because we shouldn't keep standing for it. We keep having these incidents that it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen for public safety. Protect the citizens. It's why.
But what's crazy, man, is that in some, and I'm gonna step out here and make an assumption, in some police communities, like, this shit is okay with them. And the only issue that they got is that they get caught. Somebody has some cameras and they get caught. Because we've had police on the show before. We all got, very close friends that are police that we talk to, and all of them have been, have been as up in arms in it as about us and stuff. And it just makes you wonder, how is this shit okay? Like, I'll be honest with you, y'all my boys, but if I see y'all beating somebody senseless, I gotta stop y'all. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand how
you just let it go, let it go on.
Yeah, just like it's 5 of them. Like
but,
at one point in time,
but Andy, you don't want to be considered like the outcaster. You know what I'm saying? It's that community. It's they have to come together. I don't disagree with that. To be on the street, I got your back, you got my back, no matter what. To make sure I get home. But some of the things is just speak up and say that shit is wrong.
I think like I said before, and what I heard on CNN today, it was more about them being on a task force that was out there to stop whatever was going on in this so-called high crime neighborhood. It wasn't so much that we've had guys come on here. Your man from St. Louis, the officer from St. Louis that you had come on with.
My dude Clay Farmer, man. Clay,
right.
Yeah.
He's saying that they know it's certain guys that they don't want to be associated with in the field, that they don't want to be around because they know how those guys go. And a lot of times, in most cases, and even when you see it in the city here, you got guys that's coming from Pennsylvania, coming from other little rural areas, coming down here to try to police people in the city. That we know you're not from here. We know you're not like us. We know you don't understand us. And all they doing is coming down here and be like, well, I'm the police. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. And that's why you have those neighborhoods that bump heads with them. And I think that was kind of the situation. I seriously doubt a lot of them were from that Memphis area. That neighborhood that they were supposed to be protecting. I seriously doubt it. And especially those cops that was from outside of that jurisdiction.
Yeah. It's just it's an all around terrible situation, man. One more comment. I got Tango Jackson. When a person calls for their mother and it doesn't jolt a motherfucker, damn.
She said MF.
It don't knock them out their zone.
A motherfucker out of their zone. It's beyond a problem. No, sir. No way. Anyone can stand around and watch and let anyone participate in brutally harming someone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Anthony hit me on the inbox in our private chat to move on. So
so you listen to that, but you ain't listen to the other stuff.
Nah, I ain't listen to other stuff, man. I played a portion of it. I didn't play
you thought he wasn't gonna play that?
The most gruesome part of it. Come on now. So Wildcats Podcast coming to you live from the Wildcat Studio. Hey, we in season number 5, episode 1, the first show of 2023. And we're gonna switch gears. We're gonna change gears and try to bring the show back up a little bit. I was gonna go to Air Reed, but we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go a little bit higher. We're gonna come back down again. We're gonna go a little bit higher. Let's not go there.
I guess you did learn something over 5 years. I'm proud of you, man. Come on.
Let's go to the NFL.
Oh, he gonna come back to it.
I'm gonna come back to Air Reed.
Let me see how you switch them gears.
Man, shoot, we gotta bring it up. Let's talk about the NFL. And let's go to the conference championship games, NFC, the AFC championship games going down tomorrow. And you have at 3 p.m. the 49ers taking on Philadelphia on Fox. And then you have the Bengals taking on Kansas City at 6:30 p.m. So let's talk about it, man. What's going to happen tomorrow?
Before we even get too deep into it, am I the only one that's irritated by the fact that the news outlets are speaking more about the team that fucking lost than to celebrate and prepare for the teams that won and getting them ready for like the next week? That shit is so irritating. Yeah, and I'm not even gonna get at that other team. No.
Are you surprised? You can't be surprised about that though.
Why can't I?
It's always been like
that's what they do all the time.
Exactly. We shouldn't even be talking about it. But the shit is irritating. I just wanted to get that off my chest.
It is, and that was kind of like what I was saying in our production meeting. That they put it all on that one particular quarterback, but you had other quarterbacks that played bad and lost games too.
Well, we talking about the ones but I'm talking about the same ones. I'm talking about the ones that won. Let's those
that too.
Because again, you be talking about this dude next year. We talking about these other dudes next week. You know what I mean? Or this week. Like I don't want to keep talking about these folks, man. Like this, they
Are you
fucking
talking
wrong.
are you talking about Dak and the Cowboys? Is that what you're talking about right now?
You wanted to talk about your mascot? You wanted to talk about your mascot or something? What you wanted to say?
You ain't heard us say nothing about football since we lost.
Look. We let me stop because we're doing exactly what I didn't want to do and talk
right,
about.
Exactly.
You brought it up. You brought it up.
Right.
You're right. You brought it up.
You are absolutely right. But let's talk about those Bengals, those Chiefs, those 49ers, and I can't even believe I'm saying let's talk about the Eagles. Let's talk about that shit.
He was pissed off about talking about it, but he talked about it.
Yeah, right, exactly. He bring it up.
If that wasn't some Craig Shield shit right there.
And they gonna talk about it. They gonna talk about it Monday morning too, some more.
That was some Craig Black stuff right there, boy.
God damn, boy.
You could appreciate that, couldn't you?
Hey, that was a beautiful thing, and I like that. You're right.
New year, new blackness.
That was beautiful, man. I like that. Hey, so let's talk about it, man.
But all jokes aside, man, like I'm gonna start with the Bengals and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow hasn't lost to Mahomes. Now, I don't never like to say a quarterback play against a quarterback because the quarterbacks play against the defense. But they make it seem like Mahomes is kind of like and rightfully so. He's been to 5 straight AFC Championship games, but Joe Burrow seemed to have his number, man, and they playing good ball right now. So I'm more
that's
for
why,
more
that's
so.
why Keith I don't see him winning the 5th one. I just don't. I don't see them.
Well, they didn't win it last year. I mean, the Bengals went to the Super Bowl last year. The Bengals won it last year.
I know, but I mean, I don't see him win it. Hopefully, I mean, hopefully that his ankle is still bothering him. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, shit, he was healthy last year and didn't get him. So I mean, I'm looking forward to 2 good games tomorrow, and I think that's gonna be a good one. And then with the Eagles and the 49ers, both of them got 2 stingy defenses. I think the Eagles defense might be able to kind of confuse Purdy a little bit with him not having that much experience. But if I could have with having friends that are both Eagles fans and 49er fans, if I could have both of them tie or lose tomorrow, I'd be good.
You talking about Troy and Greg?
If I could have both of them lose,
I'm gonna be real.
If I could have both of them lose, it'll be peace and quiet.
Nah, man, fuck that. I'd rather have Troy win than anything. Fuck that. Let's keep
The
man.
only thing the Eagles got going for me is they coming out of NFC East. So I think if they win and they go far, it validates us not winning because we can just say, "Hey, our conference was the fucking strongest conference in the NFL."
Oh, I mean, it was the strongest one in regular season, though.
But if you think about the 49ers are on the West Coast and we on the East Coast. So if I got to give a nod, I'm gonna go with the Eagles, even though I can't believe it. At least for this one weekend, for 2 hours, for one day out the year, I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
No, I'm definitely going with the Eagles.
Hell no.
I think Kansas City.
Hell no. You know what? Because if we all in this group me, right? Y'all know about that group me win. Y'all better mute that mother because
they already got it muted. They
okay,
already muted.
They don't see it. Because y'all know if them Bamas win, that Bama gonna be ping. I'm turning it off. I may uninstall the app for a couple of weeks just to get it.
Just mute it.
It's Bama.
But you know the funny thing about it, whenever we just like don't reply to that dude, he still just keep on going. Like, do you realize nobody has knowledge in your hands?
Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, people. Did y'all have a friend like this that just keeps going and go? He don't stop. The Bama just don't. Do you have a friend like this that never stops talking shit no matter what? He just keeps. He's talking to himself. He's sitting in the room and just like, yeah, we the motherfucking best. We the motherfucking. He just talking to his damn self.
Look, sending memes, sending jokes. It'd be like,
and then when you don't respond to him, he'll put your name in there just to call you out, just to get a response. And I ain't gonna lie, I fell into the trap a couple of times. You know, it's like
when you delete him for the group, he get mad and want to go start another group all together where he can just talk to himself.
I'm not getting in the middle of that this time. I'm not doing no mute, no delete. I ain't in it.
Oh man,
they win it. He can get his thing off, man.
Y'all know me. Y'all know me. I might not see the group till for 2-3 days.
Man, I be looking. Sometimes I be having 100 messages. I'm like, what the fuck? All this happened.
But nah,
Okay,
man, I'm
so,
looking forward to 2 good games though tomorrow.
Yeah.
But let's talk about it. Let's talk about
That's
who's
gonna be
going
some
to
good
win.
football.
We said 2 good games. You said Bengals and Chiefs first. So let's go around the room. Who do you got winning Bengals and Chiefs? Derek, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Chiefs, but I think the Bengals, like you said, I think the Bengals had a better team. But I just can't see him beating them 5 times. That's the only thing.
No, it ain't been 5. It's just he 3-0 against him. It ain't been 5.
4 times, right? 4 times.
But they never put that graphic up there until this week. And now that Slim knows about it and it's been put out there like that, I think 15 gonna get off tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think he need that motivation. Where I don't think that's the motivation for them.
I mean, that's the way you feel. I'm telling you where I'm at with it. That's my thought with it.
Okay,
that's what you need. Sometimes you need that motivation.
Yeah, because he's been just kind of rolling.
At this point right now, the question is how healthy is his ankle? That's the question. Like, and how mobile he is and stuff. And
look, he's talking about Tuesday and Wednesday. He good to go. Everything good to go. But we know a high ankle sprain.
Man,
all it takes is somebody step on that junk. You step the wrong way, and it's no more good.
Keith, he's not gonna feel his ankle. They're gonna be giving that joker shots. I don't know what you're talking about. He ain't gonna feel it till next week.
Yeah.
What talking about? Though?
Yeah.
This is the last game. This ain't no regular season game. They gonna do what they gotta do.
Lynn Brady says KC all day. All right, Lynn. All right, we got you.
Hey, I'm glad she turned her phone back over. I tried to keep that dude from doing what he did. I'm glad you turned your phone back over, came back to join us.
Who is Lynn Brady? Do we know her?
I don't know.
You was talking
hey,
like
Lynn.
you know us.
Yeah,
she active.
Wow. Okay. All right. So let's go. Anthony, did you pick somebody? Anthony, did you pick
No, he ain't pick.
No, I want to go with the Chiefs, but that high ankle sprain kind of worries me and stuff, man. And
true. I mean, that's the question mark. That's the question in the air. Because if he ain't mobile like normal, Joe, that's
I'm gonna go with the Chief, and I'm gonna give him the Andy Reid effect and stuff, man. Like he's been there, and so I'm gonna go with the Chief and stuff. I like their experience and stuff. Thanks, Lynn. We love you too, darling.
What you say? Okay, that's cool.
Oh, she from St. Louis.
St. Louis. What's up, Lynn? Okay, St. Louis family.
She
love
from
the Lou. Love the Lou. All right.
Pause.
I just said I love the Lou. What's wrong with that? That's a pause. I can't say love.
You love Lou. Okay, no, you love Lou.
I said the Lou.
Say love Lou.
I said
you love Lou.
He said love the Lou.
I said the Lou. See, I said dudes on board. They try their best. All right, so Wildcats podcast. We talking NFL championship.
Keith, you and Keith.
Now, Keith already gave.
Yeah, I said Kansas City. I think he's gonna get them.
Oh, okay.
Once they put that out there.
And I roll with the Bengals. Let's go to the let's
you
go
roll
to
with
the
the
Bengals.
Bengals.
I roll with the Bengals. The Bengals gonna win, man. He's trying to dissect every word now. He's pulling. He's reaching right now. He's reaching. All right, let's go to the Eagles and the 49ers, man. So who you got? Go ahead, Derek. I'll let you go first.
I got the Eagles.
Okay. Why?
I'm going with the Eagles. I'm going with the Eagles.
I'm gonna say Eagles.
You gotta take the emotions part out of it.
Man, dude.
Hey Slim, I mean, like we said it at the beginning of the year. Outside of their fans, we saw what they did with the draft and with free agency this year, and we knew they was gonna be good. I didn't know they was gonna be this good this fast, but we knew they was gonna be good. So I'm not surprised that they where they at. I think they're gonna confuse the young dude tomorrow.
They got a hell of
I think they're gonna try. Shanahan ain't no slouch.
Whatever. They got a hell of a defense. They hold them like Dallas hold them to that number. They put up more numbers than that. He better than that with his feet alone.
Wow.
Sorry.
He was the last pick in the 7th round.
Right.
Playing in the NFC championship
in the
game.
NFC championship game as a rookie.
Look, his fortune came from two individuals got hurt.
But let me ask you, wasn't Burrow in a similar situation? Not being the last pick in the 7th round, but when did he go his second year into the playoffs? Joe Burrow.
He went
early, but I mean, he won the national championship too.
He got hurt that first year.
That ACL, he tore his
yeah. He not new to winning though. He won a national championship.
Yeah,
he won everywhere he been.
I don't care. No. I hear what you're saying.
What?
I'm about to say, if you stop interrupting me, I hear what you're saying. But the NFL and the NCAA, CFA is two different things.
Regardless, I'm talking about a winner. I'm talking about him being a winner.
But he
regardless of where
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
They was able to get chased. That's the problem. That was the X factor.
But that was who he was throwing to at LSU.
I know.
I'll give him that. I'll give him that.
And
you can say the same thing about Hurts.
Yes, everywhere he's been, even when he lost his spot to Tua and went to Oklahoma and still won the Heisman. It's in the running for the Heisman.
Yep.
Before I make my pick, I'm gonna go to some more listener. Listener. I guess reactions. My man Gabriel says Eagles all the way with their offense, with a healthy Hurts. They're unstoppable.
Yeah,
man. I'll be honest with you, and I'm going with all my emotions all day. I don't give a damn. I hope Hurts walks out the locker room and falls over a damn cooler and hits his shoulder on the ground and can't play. I just want them Bama's to lose.
Hey, look, D'Amico Ryan's defense been number one throughout the season, and I think he's gonna put some stuff out there that's gonna make it a little bit difficult for him to get off like he get off, but he just got so many different options, man. And he can run.
All right, LaShawn Lindsay. So you going with the NFC East too, huh? LaShawn Lindsay going with the NFC East too. Okay, we see you, darling.
He gonna
jump on that bandwagon.
Looks, I'm telling
you. We don't want the Bama's to win. We don't want them to win.
Hey, we beat them already. We can say we beat the Super Bowl champs already. We beat them. We gave them their first loss.
Just them getting to the Super Bowl is worse. Now, if the Bama's going to win it, you understand.
Just mute it. Just mute it.
But the thing that's fucked up, it's like for each organization, it's that one fan that just makes you hate the organization. Like, I'm cool with for the most part, all of the Eagles fans. It's just that one person that makes me hate the organization and stuff.
I'll go further than that, man. I'm a big Jalen Hurts fan, all because of his how he left Alabama and then went to Oklahoma. They went Oklahoma, whatever school he went to. Oklahoma. How he left, you know what I'm saying? And then they counted him out.
Coming to the Eagles. To the Eagles, they ain't want to turn it over to him.
He got picked late in the draft, you know what I'm saying? His whole story. I want to be a fan of the dude, but I can't because of this one bastard. So it's like it is what it is, I can't
bastard.
I can't.
He called him a bastard.
He's a bastard. He's a bastard. He's a bastard. That's what he is. Yes, and that's being nice. That's being real nice.
Who is this fan you were referencing, Craig?
I'm not going to mention any names.
Oh, it's too late. I already texted him and told him to turn it on. If he ain't watching, he need to watch now. He's an uninvited guest today.
He's at home taking all type of notes. He's taking all type of notes. Oh, he gonna talk so much.
Look, he didn't know he was gonna be featured tonight. Unexpected guest.
Oh man! All right. So Wildcats Podcast coming to you live from some Wildcat Studios, straight from the DMV, man. We live on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, man. We everywhere at some Wildcats and at Craig Black as well, man. Y'all check us out. Please share the show. We are here for you. 5 seasons, baby. Episode number 1. All right, so that's the NFL. We did our picks, man. We're gonna move on. And you know what? We may have a show interruption once we get into this topic. So we're gonna go here first. We're gonna go to the NBA real quick, but we may have to cut the NBA because we may have a special guest chiming in. That may happen. I'm not sure if it's going. Check your private chat, fellas. All right, check your private chat. Yeah. It may happen. So we may get somebody to talk some good business. But right now we're gonna go ahead and move to the NBA, and we're gonna talk about I guess standings. We'll go to standings first.
You want to talk about Kyrie?
I guess we're going to talk about Kyrie. I guess we're talking about Kyrie.
What about the trade? What about the trade to the Lakers?
Oh, you know what? We're going to table that because I do have my special guest actually here now. and we're going to circle back. Well, he was here, now he's gone. But we're going to circle back to our first topic of the show, and we're actually going to give you a law enforcement. He was watching the podcast, and he wanted to jump in. So my man Clay Farmer out of St. Louis, Missouri, Captain Clay. Let's see if this dude is ready, man. Give me a nod or something. I know you hear me talking, dude. You ready? I'm gonna bring you in. All right. We're gonna bring you in, dude. We're gonna bring you in.
Clay,
Hey,
do
man,
we need to black your screen out, man?
No. No, I'm good, man.
Do me a favor, Clay. Turn your phone or whatever you have to the side so it'll give you a full screen. You gotta flip it, so it'll you turn it around and give you full. There you go. There we go. Now I got a full screen.
What's up, Clay?
What's up, fellas? Ain't nothing cracking but concrete butt cheeks. You know what it is.
All right.
This is for official introduction. My man Captain Clay Farmer out of St. Louis, Missouri. Law enforcement professional. A real big community dude in St. Louis, Missouri, man. He really handles his business, man. He's about the people, and he's about policing, but he's about the people. Policing with the people. You bring them together, you bridge the gap. So Clay, man,
I appreciate that, first of all.
Hey man, come on, man. I'm gonna keep it real, then I'm gonna clown you later.
Right.
But
clown you later. What the hell?
He do that all the time, man. At the end, I'm gonna tell you what he did to me last time I was there, but we'll wait.
Clay, can you stop, man? Clay, you are playing. These dudes play with words so bad, Clay. Put pause all over this conversation. Pause. Let me throw pause. I'm about to run the ticker with a pause underneath the bottom of it, dog. Pause. God damn.
I'm gonna tell you what he did to me later.
It's reckless right now.
It was bad, guys.
It was getting reckless right now. Hey,
no lube.
Let's get to the situation at hand, Clay. Straight up. You've seen the video. We all have seen the video, man. So from a professional standpoint, man, tell me, what was your reaction from a professional standpoint?
Well, first of all, those officers are exactly where they need to be, and things happened the way that they were supposed to happen. The way that it was supposed to happen, they should have been locked up, and they should have been charged immediately. No doubt about it. I'm not. This is my 23rd year in law enforcement, but you know me, Craig. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Like I've screamed to the high heavens, man. If an officer does something wrong, he needs to be held accountable, just like we expect to hold the citizens accountable. And that's what people want. They want to be fair. They want to know that if this happens, they will be held accountable. So, one, I want to say that I commend the Memphis PD and the chief for acting so swiftly. I think that it prevented a lot of things, and I think that it showed transparency within that police department.
But Clay, tell me something. Why do you think other law enforcement that was in that environment didn't speak up, didn't say this is wrong, didn't prevent them to continue to do what they do? Why do you think that no one else had the same, mindset that you do?
I think that it can be related to culture, but I think that it also is an individual thing, right? So had I been there, or some of the guys and girls that I know, they wouldn't have went down like that, right? But unfortunately, it's the culture. So, you guys are big sports guys. I'm a big sports guy. And I always say the team takes on the characteristics of its coach, right? So if you allow certain things to happen, this is the way they play, right? And now it just, unfortunately, it cost that young man his life. And my condolences go out to him and his family. That just should not have happened.
Yeah, and Clay. So, like I was saying earlier, and I was actually the one that brought your name up because I remember the last time you was on the show, how you talked about calling folks out when they out of line, and that you didn't want to work with certain people because you knew how they moved about when they were out in the street or what have you. So back to what you were saying about the state of the area that they were in. It sounded like, from what I listened to on CNN, that they were in some kind of specialized task force for this being a high crime area. So is is it normal? Is it normal for them to put those more reckless or more gung ho guys on those particular type of task force because you know that they're going to move a certain kind of way, or do you put vets there that can relate to the community, can see what's going on and recognize the situation before it gets out of hand?
Well, I don't necessarily would ever think that they would put people there that are reckless. Like, you know what I mean? That's like, I'm not going to just put them in there because I know something may happen, right? But with that being said, different units, you put different people in. Again, to use that sports analogy, in certain times of the game, I'm going to sub this dude in because he's a better 3-point shooter or he's a better free throw shooter. So units like that, SWAT, you want to have the more aggressive guys, not reckless, but you got to have the more aggressive guys that want to go out there, that want to get the guns, that want to get the dope off the street. Because you have some guys that just come to work and be like, look, I'm gonna drive around, I don't see nothing, I don't want to say nothing. You got guys that'll drive around and say, hey, they ticket guys, like, I'm gonna load up on tickets a day. So they kind of put people according to their demeanor and their background. So most of the time, to your point though, it's a good mix. Sometimes they'll put the vets with the new folks because the new folks need to get that experience. Yep. But if you're a go-getter, they're gonna put you out there and let you go do your thing.
Yeah, and
Clay, let me ask you this.
That's where good supervision comes in. You have to have a strong supervisor to be able to pull their coattail, right? Or you may have to sub them out the game. Come on over here, man. Let me holler at you. Like this ain't this ain't what
Clay,
we do.
Let me ask you this real quick. When you
yes, sir,
because your department right now is on the periphery of this. You guys get, I guess, the benefit of seeing these law enforcement agencies going through this. Do you guys have internal meetings after you see some of this and say, all right, we see this, this is how we're going to prevent this from happening in our jurisdiction, in our, like, or does it just be like, yeah, they messed up and got caught? Crime they committed was getting caught.
No, absolutely. That's always a circle up moment, right? But on the back end, we're doing things to prevent things like this from happening, right? So when these happen, we go back and say, hey, what are we doing here? What do we need to do here? It's kind of like polishing up on what we're doing. A lot of things that we've implemented, I think that is great. It's called CALIA. And that's like the international accreditation for police departments. And basically what that is that they check your standards, your policies, procedures, make sure you're doing them a certain way. And it's like a 3-year process before your department can be accredited, right? So one of the things that's implemented in this, which I think is great, is they have an early warning system, right? So I tell people all the time, officers hate complaints. I'll say it again for everybody listening. Police officers hate complaints. Don't call on the phone, though. You can't call and say, oh, Officer Craig, he did this or he did that. And then they'll say, oh, okay, here you go. Oh, that's it. But you have to come down there and you have to make an official complaint and put it on paper. And what that does is people say, oh, well, nothing happened. Well, that's not true, because let's just say you come down there and you make that complaint on Officer Craig. The first one may be not substantiated, right? But if the early warning system and they're seeing this, they say, well, damn, he's got 10. Well, everybody ain't lying on him. You see what I'm saying? Like, so they're like, we need to either get him training, he needs to be disciplined, he needs to be terminated, or whatever the case may be. But they catch those things in those early warning systems and then document what in fact they did to their officer.
That's real. I don't know, man. It's just the video. I talked about it earlier when we first spun the topic up. Having everything that went on the last 3 to 4 years, and having 5 brothers do this to a black man, I brought color into it, man. So give me your perspective on that, Clay. Is there something, white, black, do you have any issue with it? Do you tell me how you feel about the black cops doing it to a black man?
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Always. In my 23 years, man, I've seen both be bad, right? And it's unfortunate. It's just worse when it's somebody that looks like you, right? So it's been times where I've showed up on the scene and it's been all white officers, and there's been a black man or woman, and they see me, they like, oh, God is good. You know what I'm saying? We got the black officers showed up like I'm the savior, right?
Yeah.
So even though they may still go to jail, they feel better about it, right? They feel like, all right, bro, gonna at least look out for me. You know what I'm saying? So when you have somebody that looks like you that does that to you, man, it's just like four knives in your back, right? So I think that's the biggest thing for people. Like they were just shocked that it was somebody that looked like them that would do something like this. And it's just egregious, man. I feel bad again for that family, and I feel even worse for the men and women of the police department that are doing it right every single day that had to go back to work today. Because I know that's really heavy on them. Like, oh my God, like, because any good officer saw that and said that was bad and had to deal with it. So there's no win in this at all, if that's even a thing.
But
Clay, let me ask you this one other question.
Yes, sir.
How arrogant of an officer do you have to be to know that you have body cam on, you have the street cameras going on, and you still commit, as an officer, commit these egregious crimes? Like how, like, is it just, and again, I don't want to put it generally across all police officers, but is it just like just the thought that, well, shit, they ain't gonna do nothing if they,
right? That's almost, you see
right.
that they not, it happened before to keep continue on with that.
Right. That could come into it. Complacency can come into it. All of those things, because just think about it. How many people still commit crimes with these doorbell cameras, and there's cameras all in stores, and they still commit crimes anyway? Right. Because they get comfortable.
In HD now too.
In 4K. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you know what? This is my personal. This is just Captain Farmer's personal. Seeing that video, that looked like it was something personal. That looked like it was something like, I've seen this dude before. Me or this dude had beef before, and I finally got my time to shine. That's the way it looked to me. That didn't look like a random, we just gonna whoop dude. Like, let's just get him out here and whoop him. That it seemed that way. Again, I can't confirm that. I'm just saying, looking at that, it looked like that was something personal that just went way too far. And that's not excusing it or anything. I'm just saying that looked like it was something like, yeah, bro, I've been waiting to put my hands on you. And unfortunately, again, it cost him his life.
Clay, I mean, and we, like you said before, you saw they moved swiftly on firing these officers. They was five black officers, but we've seen in the past where have been white officers, and we talking about months and months, and we have videos and we have everything in place, and you get to a certain point where they trying to cover things up, or it's prolonged. Why do you think they move so swiftly to move get into action to get him? Do you think to get in front of it, or because they were black?
Well, you know what? It's funny that you asked me that, because we were in a meeting earlier and we talked about this very thing. And to me, I could see both sides of it. And I hate using sides, right? But I see both perspectives, where the people outside looking in are like, this is crazy, right? This has happened before. These white officers, it took them 2 or 3 months to charge them, if they even charge them at all. But these black officers, they threw them up. I mean, they locked them up, threw away the key that fast, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So to me, us as law enforcement, we're trying to change this culture, right? And unfortunately, well, I don't say unfortunately, this time it just happened to be black officers, because you have to look at it like this. Say the Memphis PD didn't move swiftly, that they did put this off, then that releasing of that video would have been a lot different. Things probably would have been torn up, and it would have been reckless. But that showed again the transparency of that department to even release the video, to move swiftly and lock these guys up and to charge them. And that's what we want in this police culture, right?
But you know what?
I wouldn't even.
I just when we've had like these situations before, it's as though the police union stopped the video from coming out. They stopped it. So was the police union with the police department, in agreements with the police department on this particular? And you may not have this information, but I'm looking because all this, it's the same script. The only thing that's right now is the characters are different. It's black cops now.
Yeah. I'm not
back
really.
to Rodney King. Rodney King video was all out there and getting brutally beaten. And what happened? But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I'm not really sure that the unions can stop the video from being shown. I know that a lot of departments have adopted models where whether they think it's a clean shoot or a bad shoot, they're going to at least release the video within like 21 days or something like that to show the public that we are working on it. Blah blah blah. I know within our office, I know there was a particular case where it was a young man lost his life. We showed the video to the family, of course, and we had planned on releasing the video, but the mother of the deceased said, you know, she said the only thing I ask of you guys is that I understand that, you know, there's not going to be any charges in this. I've seen the video. I just ask you all to not release it because I don't want to see my baby getting shot over and over and over again. And Prosecutor Bell said, absolutely, I will not release this video because of that very reason. And he didn't care about what the public or anybody else thought because it's about the family at that moment. I know people want to know and they want to see, but it's really about the family, right? When they lose a loved one, that's first and foremost. So he respected her wishes and we did not release it, not because we were trying to hide anything, but we respected the mother's wishes. But in this case, the mother wanted it released.
Yeah, she definitely wanted it. She definitely wanted it.
That's real. That's real. Mama was pissed. Mama she had the right to be pissed.
But
absolutely.
They might have wanted to get in front of it because they saw the video.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was so terrible. You know, they had to react swiftly.
Right.
You know,
I think you're going to see a lot more of that. You even had the chief in Kansas City sending her condolences. It didn't even happen in Kansas City, of course. Yeah. She made a public video saying, hey, this is not cool. I've talked to my officers. I've done this. I've done that to try to get out in front of these things.
Yeah.
That's real, man. So we're talking to Captain Clay Farmer out of St. Louis, Missouri, law enforcement professional for 23 years, good friend of the show. And we just had to circle back to the beginning topic, and that was the reactions to the Kyrie Nichols I'm gonna call it murder. That's what I'm. It's just what it was. This was what it was. So, Clay, man, I appreciate you, man. Take your time jumping on with us for a little bit, man. Talking to us, man.
Man, anything for you guys, man. I'm on the Wildcat podcast, bro. Like, Mama, I made it. Like, this is, no ticket I've ever written has felt this good before. Like being on the podcast. But look, real quick, man. Before I go, I had to tell the guys, man. Look, so me and Prosecutor Bell came up to DC for a conference, and we went out to eat with Craig, right? And so,
man, this dude. We got classic form. Watch this.
Classic form, man. I'm not last. No, he put me out there. So we went to eat, and I got ready to pay. So the waitress came back. She like, your card declined. I'm like, what? She like, your card declined. I'm like, the hell it is. And then Craig go tell the lady, listen, he got that rush card. It ain't no more money. When in fact, I just forgot to tell my bank I was going out of town. But that's all.
Yeah, that happens.
Hey, Clay, I bet you he didn't offer to pay that bill though, did he?
Hey, tell him, Clay. Tell him, Clay.
I gotta say, he did.
Tell him, Clay.
He held his boy down, and I got some cake. I had threw some cake on that.
Hey, well, look,
he's gonna do it.
He was showing off for you being out of town because we would have sure been sitting there trying to wash some dishes.
Yeah.
No, but the question is, would he take you to the carryout?
Well, see, I did. Now, see, that was the problem. What he wanted for payment, and then I wasn't with that. I don't know. We ain't doing that. I don't know. We ain't doing that.
Clay, it's glad to have you on here, man. You gotta go, man. You gotta go, man. Oh, this dude, boy.
Appreciate you guys, man.
I appreciate you coming on.
All right, man.
For sure, man.
All right, man.
All
right, brother.
All right. That's my man, Captain Clay Farm, St. Louis, Missouri, man. Appreciate that dude. Straight up food, man. But
it's good for him to come on, give his perspective.
Good perspective. That was a good call on Keith. I'm gonna give it all to Keith, man. I had nothing to do with that, man. Keith made that happen.
No time he did something right.
Yeah, whatever. You ain't want to listen to me about the damn video.
Man, you don't make good calls all the time.
Yeah, whatever.
You don't make good calls all the time. Sometimes you do all right.
Nah, man, I appreciate the insight and the fact that Slim was even still listening to what's going on, man. And it's been a couple years since he had been on the show. So, the fact that he's still watching and keeping up with it, man, respect.
All right, yep. So we back, man. So Wildcats Podcast, season 5, episode 1. So we're gonna switch gears. We're gonna go back into we're gonna go back to the NBA. Go back to the NBA. We started there. We're gonna go back there, and we're gonna talk about what we got. The standings and All-Star starters have been announced. So let's go to the standings first, man. Let's go to the standings first. That's what we got. This is the Eastern Conference. Yes. All right.
The public need to stop voting. That's what it did. That's what we got.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, man. We're gonna get the calm down.
Pay the checks, write the checks.
Lord.
What up?
Do we want to go to the All-Star first, or we go to?
I'm sorry. Go to standings. Go to standings. My bad.
This is as of last night. The standings in the Eastern Conference. You got Boston sitting at 35-15. You got them 76ers at 31-16. And the team that I think is going to win everything, my pick to win NBA championship, is the Milwaukee Bucks. Once they get healthy, if Middleton comes back, I believe they will win.
He's back.
He's back.
He played. I didn't know he was back. I didn't know he was back. Okay.
Back.
Then coming at number 3 at 32-17. Then you got the KD less Nets, and Keith said Kyrie was balling before on a little pre-party.
If KD was here, they will be up number 1 and number 2. You better believe
he cooking right now.
Yeah, he cooking.
They're at 29-19. Then you got the Cleveland Cavaliers, who they could be dangerous in the playoffs. They could be dangerous.
Because if you take a look, between 2 and 6 is only a 3-game difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So in a couple of weeks, and this could all change.
And it's gonna get heated after the All-Star break.
Yeah,
and you got the Heat at 28-22. We're gonna go straight to one major team in here, the Washington Wizards. They're at number 10. They're in the play-in tournament right now at 22-26. They're actually on a 4-game winning streak, and I think they're playing right now as we talk. I don't know who they're playing, but I think they're playing right now as we talk. But the Wizards make it do something. I think Kyle Kuzma has taken over the reins of the leader of the squad over there in DC. I don't know.
Bradley always hurt.
Yeah.
My question is,
they play in New Orleans.
All these basketball professionals on this panel that know, all these coaches that know about basketball, why in the hell do the Wizards keep letting Bradley Beal have the ball at the end of the game when we know he's going to turn that ball over? We know this as fans. We on the outside watch. We're not professionals that's working this team every day of the week. We're not in practices. We're not doing any of this stuff with this team. So if we know this as fans that you don't put this ball in this Bama's hands at the end of the game,
Craig,
why do they keep doing it?
Who you gonna get the ball to?
Kuzma.
You got to get him the ball. He can't create. He's not going to be able to handle the ball. He's not going to be able to handle the ball and score too.
Will you run a damn play when he gets? Man, come on now. Bradley Beal is not that
guy. That's why the ball's in Bill's hands.
Oh my God!
You don't have no other point guard that can do it. That's the way it is.
So you telling me Kyle Kuzma can't create his own shot?
That's not his game. You gotta drive and kick it to Kuzma in the corner or kick it to that 3-point line. He's sitting there waiting.
No. I've seen Kuzma create off the dribble plenty of times, man, this season. What are you talking about?
Most of the shots at the end of the game, he's hitting a 3 or something. I mean, he's in the corner. I'm telling you, they put the ball in Bill's hand, and they living with the consequences.
Before I go to the Laker hater Keith, I'm gonna talk to Anthony first and get an understanding from a professional a coach standpoint of why they just keep putting it in his hand at the end of the game. He keeps turning the ball over. It's not like he does it sometimes. He does it every time.
Did a good job of answering your question. You just didn't want to hear.
I said
Anthony.
your last one.
He's a professional coach. Let Anthony answer.
Look, I've been coaching with Anthony for a good little while. Everything that Derek just said, I think Anthony gonna say exactly what he said. He might say it in a different way so he understand it. Put it in JV or freshman terms for Craig.
In layman terms, something.
It's already been put in terms. He just don't want to hear it. He got an agenda already, so he want to kind of go the narrative.
He didn't want to hear what I got to say.
So y'all telling me Kyle Kuzma can't create a shot off his? It has to be. You telling me out of all these? Come on, man. I'm not. You right. I got an agenda.
That's not his game. That's why. That's like you said. Like Kyrie probably leading the scoring in the fourth quarter like that. He can have the ball in his hands. Either he's gonna make the right pass or he's gonna.
Kyrie handling the ball and Bradley Beal handling the ball are two different things, man. Come on now. Bradley Beal's handle is nowhere near. He is a turnover machine.
Is Kyrie on the Wizards team for him to have the ball at that point?
Exactly.
He brought up Kyrie. I didn't bring up Kyrie talking about.
But I'm saying who
Bradley Beal is your best option to have it, and your highest paid player to have it.
He will draw the attention. It's just unfortunate he turned the shit over. He's going to draw the attention. He can kick it to Kuzma or make the shot.
But he never do that, man. For the last for the last 5 years, I'm a Bradley Beal fan. For the last 5 years, no, this podcast been around. This man turns over the ball at the end of the game, man. Every time, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. I guess it is what it is.
It is right.
I guess it is.
He's not going nowhere. He got a $200 million contract plus. He ain't going nowhere.
I'm just saying, don't get the man with the ball at the end of the goddamn game. That's all I'm saying, man. We create a play. I don't know. Be a coach.
So you gonna give it to your power forward. You'll give it to your power forward to create.
I'm gonna give it. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
He's not LeBron James. That's the thing. He's not LeBron James.
It's a different type of player, Chris.
Man, that dude. That dude can handle the ball, man.
I think when you look at it, Bradley.
Now, hold on, Anthony. I'm sorry. Hold on, Anthony. I'm sorry. Kuzma don't shoot free throws well either.
Bradley can't get to the damn rim to shoot a damn free throw at the end of the game because somebody always going to the other end with the ball because he loses shit.
Hey, can we move on from this sub 500 team? Can we move on?
That's like Charles Barkley talking about they want to talk about the Lakers. They number 12. Why are we talking about the Lakers?
Can we move on?
Well, let's go to the Lakers. They number 13. You gave him too much, Dirk. You gave him too much. All right, coming to number 1 in the Western Conference as of Friday night. A team that just lost tonight to the Philadelphia 76ers is the Denver Nuggets, 34-15. And number 2, you have those Memphis Grizzlies with Ja Morant, 31-18.
Coach of the year.
And then them Sacramento Kings, baby.
Coach of the year.
Kevin Huerter.
27-20.
Yeah, you're right. Kevin Huerter balling. You right.
Sacramento Kings. Is this the reason why your boy Williamson is an all-star starter, 26 and 23, number 4 in the Western Conference?
No, just a while.
I think it's just a popularity contest with the fans.
Yeah, I mean, if he was on the floor, it would be no question. But he ain't been on the floor.
You got to think about how many all-star starters have been selected that was hurt and wasn't even playing the entire season and still been selected as a starter. Right. Just from the fan pick. It's a popularity contest when it comes to that.
You go to LA Clippers, number 5 at 27-24. Then you have the Dallas Mavericks with Luka, 26-24. And then you got the Golden State Warriors. They up 1 game above 500. You got the Minnesota Timberwolves, 1 game above 500. Phoenix Suns, 500. And you got Portland, 1 game under 500. And then we'll go to Keith's Lakers. They're 23-26.
And that's not Portland, that's Utah.
My bad, Utah. I'm sorry.
Look,
My bad,
Anthony,
Utah.
They only like 1 game from second to the daggone what 11th?
Yeah,
12th?
Third. Damn, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That look how close the West is. It's crazy. That's crazy.
That's real. I
mean, you got Phoenix, Booker and Chris Paul been hurt.
And it's going to change once that All-Star break. And everybody started to make that push. You're gonna see a couple of trades here and there. They're gonna get pieces. And like I said, like I've been saying from the beginning, the better teams gonna rise to the top, man. And it's gonna be a couple teams like Sacramento wasn't expected to do what they doing. I think Memphis is starting to get some experience. So it's gonna be fun to watch down the stretch.
I mean, New Orleans was balling when Zion was there. They need his ass to come back. I mean, he gonna keep. I mean, he's the. They were what number 2 for a minute. So,
all right, let's go real quick. Let's go to it.
You got
NBA
some comments over there too, Black.
Let's go
got some comments over there.
I see
from Lynn. Tell Lynn we don't know too much about them high schools in St. Louis.
But you know about track and field. You can talk. Yeah, you can talk.
Yeah, I am a track coach. You can tell me some of them times. I tell you if they good compared to what we got around here.
Exactly. You just need to know the times.
We can know what them times are like.
Will that all populate? What would that do? Wow, what all populate? Okay, that's cool.
There you
go. I thought it was too much to go up there. Okay, all right.
Now look, anybody that's making moves, and we don't really talk about the high school sports too tough, but we do follow it around here. Couple of us follow it real close, track and basketball and football, but I don't know too much about the stuff going on in St. Louis in the state teams, but I know what times look like. If you want to tell me what their times look like,
yeah.
Go ahead, Lynn. Send us some times, man. All right, let's move on.
You definitely can tell about the times.
Let's go to the NBA All-Star starters, the selections. West Coast will start there first. We'll go to the captain of the team, which is LeBron James, 19 times an All-Star. And then you got Steph Curry 9 times. You got the Joker 5 times. Luka Doncic 4 times, and Zion Williams.
Now, I don't see how Ja was snubbed on this as a starter.
Yep.
I don't see that.
Yeah. It's like you said, but it's a popularity.
It's a popularity contest. But I'm just talking about as far as being a snub. Them and Joel Embiid on the Eastern side too.
That's crazy. It is crazy. I can't see why Josh should be there.
You're right. Embiid, there's no way.
It was like that. It was the hype machine created behind. It was a hype machine created around.
Did you see what he did to Jokic today?
You said he had 49 or something.
He gave like 46 or something crazy, and Jokic only had 24. But head to head, he kind of showed who was who head to head today.
All right, we go to the Eastern Conference starters, starting with their captain, the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. 7 times a starter. Then we go to Kevin Durant, 13 times a starter. Then Kyrie Irving, 8 times a starter. Then you have the young Jason Tatum and Donovan Mitchell, 4-time starters. And that is a good look. That's a real good look.
So somebody mentioned Embiid going in. But who do you take off?
Yeah, Mitchell.
Yeah.
If I had to take somebody off,
I take Mitchell off.
He started off hot in the beginning. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I would have to take off Mitchell then.
Yeah, but put up that.
Cleveland was doing what he was doing before he got there.
Put up the stat for the Eastern Conference real quick, Craig.
They like what, number 5 or 6?
What you mean?
The standing for the Eastern Conference.
They like 5. They go 5. They number 5.
Yeah, they number 5.
But look, 6 is number 2.
And B number 2.
They number 2.
And they won today. Yeah. But I'm saying Cleveland was doing that last year before he got there. That team, the nucleus of that team was put together last year, where they were they were pretty good last year. Now I'm not saying he didn't add to it.
Craig, you got the whole roster. Or is that gets picked up after the voting and stuff?
You giving them a lot of work, man.
That happens. To answer your question, it's a new format now. They actually pick the teams at the All-Star game, right at during the game. Yep.
Yeah, like pickup, like y'all
like pickup. The whole team before the day start, they're gonna make their they're gonna make their selections right before the game starts, and they're gonna like you do in the gym. When you were the last one to be picked every time in gym, and that's what's going to happen.
At least it's better than the NFL playing flag football and want to charge for it.
But the only thing about it is, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
what you got, Ant? What you saying?
Nah, because I'm like with that new format and stuff, man. I'm thinking, well, shit. Like, if I ain't gonna get picked up, I wouldn't want to go all the way to wherever. Because where is it at? Utah this year?
You still getting your money. You get that bonus.
Yeah.
You still gonna play.
You gonna get your money. And you gonna play. You just don't know who you playing with.
Man, these dudes want rest more so than some bonus. To be honest, in a lot of cases, a lot of these dudes are sitting on cake. They like, man, give me these extra 3 or 4 days rather than this.
Nah,
this
they want to play. They still want to play in the All-Star game. Bro.
Yeah.
And they still like to see that check at the end of it. I don't give a damn how much money they making that.
Hey,
extra check ain't never hurt nobody.
Hey, Keith, I want to put out Morgan. They got to track me to Penn State on my birthday. It's this Saturday.
Okay. That facility real nice.
Yeah, that's the indoor. Yeah, they got the indoor.
Yeah,
facility.
that joint real nice. It's pretty much state of the art. They got like the track that raises and lowers on the indoor track, and it's real good for spectators.
Okay.
I just gotta worry about snow at that jump.
Do you know what you know? I'll be sitting in the damn gym on my birthday.
From the DMV and from some Wildcat Studios. We're live on Twitch at Craig Black 1. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. All you gotta do is search at some Wildcats. We're gonna switch gears once again, and we're gonna go back. Well, we're gonna go to we ain't going back. We never went here before, so we're gonna talk about Ed Reed. We're gonna bring the show back down a little bit. We're gonna bring the show back down a little bit. We're gonna talk about Ed Reed and his times at Bethune-Cookman University. Well, the short-lived time at Bethune-Cookman. Man, so it was announced that he was actually the head coach to be at Bethune-Cookman, and then Ed Reed had an incident where he went on campus and was picking up trash and did a live video, and I just think Ed Reed got in his feelings, man. He got in his feelings real deep, and he really doesn't. From a professional standpoint, he doesn't have any media, or he doesn't have any cut cards. He doesn't have to train. He doesn't know how to articulate in a calm way his displeasure or his dislike. But when you can't bash somebody that you're trying to work for before you even sign the contract. That's what happened. You never signed off on the contract, but you're gonna go live and bash them. I mean, from a standpoint, you can see how mad they would be. You're like, hey, you just dogged us out to everybody across this nation, and you didn't give us a chance. You came and talked to us first, and then let's go through it. So Bethune-Cookman, he would not be their head coach, and the campus did some the students on campus did some protest against it, and some of the football players actually spoke out in support of Ed Reed, and I have the clip right here. Let's take a listen to some of the football players talking about the conditions of the school after being hit by a couple of hurricanes back to back. So let's let the kids talk.
Reed in 3 weeks has essentially done more than this entire administration and other program leads, like other head coaching staffs and whatnot. He's done more in 3 weeks than they have in of the past 5 years. Things that, Coach Drake mentioned, saying that we didn't share helmets, we don't shower, or we actually have showers. We don't have showers. We don't have a locker room. We have to watch out where we put our stuff in the stadium locker room so it doesn't get wet and then get moldy, and then we got to practice in moldy stuff. Or when we go and put our stuff away, we put it in the shed, and the shed gets wet from the rain, and then we got to practice in that moldy stuff. Moldy balls, moldy helmets. We share those moldy helmets too, and that gear.
Most of us had to buy our own Lysol and stuff to spray our. We had to clean our stuff ourselves. Once we get our gear from the equipment manager from that shed, it smelled bad. I remember the first time I opened my bag, and most of the guys were just like, "What's going on?" We asked if we could, we asked for the basics. We asked if we could get, stuff to spray our stuff down, and that probably didn't happen until the very, very end.
Yeah, we got that maybe week 8 was when we got that. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure on week 5 was when we actually had the mold outbreak in our helmets and gear. And in my gloves alone, I didn't wear gloves at practice because it literally just smelled like the epitome of mold. Like I was just smelling a handful of mold.
So man, that's enough as that. I mean, so I just it was messed up. It was messed up. The conditions were messed up, but you have to give them time to right the wrongs. And what Ed did, he didn't. I don't think he talked to them to actually, because I believe it was 2 hurricanes, like I said, back to back. And you once you repair stuff, it's it's right back down the drain. What can you do? I mean, it's like, I don't know. I'm gonna go around the room, man. Y'all.
It's unfortunate for the kids. It's unfortunate for the kids. It's unfortunate for the school that they was gonna get exposure. I mean, they could have been the same thing like Jackson State. Maybe not that level or that magnitude, but it's just unfortunate to learn from an individual like that being a head coach and be able to bring exposure because Dion is leaving. You know what I mean? So I just it's bad all the way around.
And see, you saying that you don't make a comment like that before you get the before you actually get the job. But I mean, when are you supposed to say it? I mean, he saw what he was facing, what he was looking at. I've never heard of a high school team sharing helmets, let alone a college team, a Division I college team having to share equipment or buy their own equipment as a Division I team playing in a major conference. But the fact that he was passionate about it, he was the reasons why he took the job and why he was making that connection with the kids and all of that. It was similar to what Dion was saying about what he's facing with the administration.
Yeah,
that everybody doesn't get a chance to see. And so now he's seeing exactly what, another example of what Dion was saying, and just trying to figure out the best way to go about cleaning it up and giving his folks a chance to at least have a solid foundation going into the season.
Yeah, I agree that Ed Reed probably shouldn't have jumped on social media and then just start.
Yeah, and that the way he handled it, yes.
You got to put like this. Considering the fact that he hadn't signed a contract yet, he had time to kind of back out of it and stuff before he signed the contract, and then be like, there'd been no harm, no foul. Like, look, this ain't what I signed up for. I didn't know you guys had moldy helmets and stinky gloves, and people couldn't shower and shit. So this ain't where I want to be at. You know what I mean? Rather than kind of going like, it was like that before he interviewed and stuff.
But he didn't leave, eh?
Yeah, he wanted to stay.
The administration was the one that.
Yeah, but no, but did you play this after? No.
He still wanted to be there.
After he sat in that golf cart and gave that tirade he gave, you couldn't keep that guy. You couldn't keep Ed Reed as a coach.
No, but your comments that you were saying was sounding like he could have left beforehand, and it was like he still didn't want to leave even after seeing what was there. He still didn't want to leave. He was committed to those kids.
Keith,
I understand what you're saying about them not being able to keep him. I get that. Yeah. Once he jumped out there like that, it's no way that they were going to be able to control anything that he said as a football coach.
Why they couldn't keep him, man? I mean, he it ain't like he was saying anything that was wrong. I mean, they could have came with another press conference or something and cleaned it up. I mean, he could have came back live and made it happen.
They basically said that Ed Reed was informed of all of the initiatives and the financial budget that they were putting to rectify the problems and the issues that they had. Yeah, and he knew what they were going to do to try to rectify this stuff, and he still just put them on blast. And it's just like like this. I'm going to
say one thing verbally until you go down there and see the conditions.
Imagine this. Exactly. Imagine this. I'm interviewing with Popeyes, right? And before they say they hiring me, I'm like, I go on social media, man, that motherfucker got rats big as cats. Man, they trying to get a motherfucker to work 12 hours in a 20, like I thought.
But look,
like, I can't
but how many people we done seen came back with an apology?
Right. I mean, that's what I mean.
I still think
you think Ed Reed should have came back with an apology?
He could have.
He did. He did come back and apologize for him making the comment on social media, but it didn't change his stance of what was what. He agreed that it was the wrong situation that he put it out there that way. But I think when you go down and you've been told everything that it was going to be one way, and then you get down there and you see that even the stuff that you told me you're going to do is not going to do it.
No, the actual president of the university, and don't get me wrong, I don't got a dog in the fight, so I don't care one way or another. But the president of the university got on Roland Martin's show and basically said Ed knew exactly where we were and what our plans were to rectify all of these issues. And despite that, he got on social media and basically blew up the spot. It's just like I don't think you could have hired. I don't think you could have brought him on with.
But going back to what I said though, and like even though you saying what the president said, he knew, and he told him this and he told him that, and I see A, B, and C is outlined as what's going to happen. When I get down there and see what it physically is and what it actually is, I know right away that A, B, and C ain't gonna get it. And I think that was the situation, and they caught him off guard.
But do you go on social media?
No,
you go on social media and blow up.
That's part I say he's wrong, where he went off of his emotions and he jumped on the phone and he did a Craig Black and talked about everything that's going on.
He was frustrated. He was frustrated. He was I'm round here.
But what do you mean do a Craig Black in there?
Yeah, he did a Craig Black.
All this is just foreshadowing as to what's going to potentially happen and stuff. Because you got to think, I got to appease this alumni. And they're gonna be like, well, you knew this dude was a hothead. You knew this. You saw the potential for this explosion to happen. And when it does happen, and don't get me wrong, it was going to happen in the future with Ed Reed. It was going to happen.
Where they came back.
Huh?
They came back and talked about, like, it was a follow-up to Roland Martin's interview about those same football players that they had interviewed. It was a follow-up to that, where Roland Martin was talking about, everything that was going on. The kids were talking. It was a 15-minute like interview with those kids again, talking about how some of the stuff that they were saying was a lie, as far as like the president or the not the alumni board, but it was a couple of people that was supposed to be in position that they were saying they never saw them on campus. They all the stuff that they were saying was going to happen wasn't what was actually happening, and they had never seen this guy before who was an interim in this position. And I sent it to Craig earlier, but it's I had to send it to y'all after everything is over, and I may attach it on Facebook so that you can kind of follow up and see what else was said behind the students and what was actually happening.
But Anthony, who you think gonna want the job now? You're not gonna get a figure and a person like that. First and foremost.
No.
But let's be real.
What?
They got bigger fish to fry, because if we talk about the athletics, you can imagine that the academics
is
some shit.
Well, I don't disagree with that. They was on the bankrupt years ago.
The coach and stuff, not with the expectation that they're not going to do shit, but until they fix some things, So I don't think, me personally, I don't think that the athletic part of it is the bigger fish to fry right now. I'm like, they sound like they got some other things that they got to take care of before they even think about a winning football program.
Where they was even talking about like cleaning up the grounds and stuff like that, and they were saying like the president of the Student Government Association was trying to do a cleanup to kind of clean up the campus, and that they were told by security that they couldn't go into this facility to get rubber gloves and trash bags, so they had to provide their own stuff trying to clean it up. And they said they had frats, they had sororities, they had alumni. Everybody was out there, a part that was basically a part of the Bethune-Cookman community helping with this cleanup. Mm-hmm. But not one staff member, not anybody from the administration, not this interim president who claims that he walks the campus every day and knows, the vibe of the campus at this point. They weren't there to be found.
Go
ahead.
It's just a real bad look all together. HBCUs. I mean, not just Bethune-Cookman. It's like I hate to compare, but like
it's like when Dion said
it's like when Dion it's like things that Dion has built up to bring the HBCUs back to some type of notoriety and prominence. Yep. This incident kind of brung a lot of things down. You know what I'm saying? This is like damn.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. Like, we don't know that Ed Reed didn't have the same type of personality that Dion got.
No,
it's other pro Hall of Famers that are coaching in HBCUs. You got Eddie George at Tennessee State. That he's not getting those same type of athletes, and he don't have that 13-0 record that Dion had, because he just don't have that persona. So some of the stuff that they were saying, and I guess because Dion had his kids there, that they made it seem like Dion was supposed to save everything, but Ed Reed was basically stamping what Dion saw, and part of the reasons why Dion left.
Yeah, but one of the things I think was different about the Dion situation and the Ed Reed situation was that because Deion's kids was there, and Deion
they made it seem like it was an ulterior motive.
No, because Deion's kids was there, and he was donating his own money and deferring some of his payments
as well,
bringing sponsors. So Deion was more vested in Jackson State than I think Ed Reed was vested in that 1 month that he was going through the interview process.
Yeah,
I don't disagree with what Ed Reed was saying, but I just don't think that you kind of go on a
social media wasn't the right place for it.
No, it was his delivery. His delivery was terrible. That's what it was.
Yeah,
delivery was
not even the delivery as much as in just the delivery and the platform. It's like they know it's fucked up. You know what I mean? It's like
he wasn't supposed to go on social media, and Ed can't be. I don't see him being calm and be able to have a calm conversation and be professional, be able to speak things out. It's gonna come out the way Ed gonna put it out there. That's just who he is. It's not nothing. It's not a knock to him. It's something that he probably would have learned over time. Now, my question is: you think Ed's gonna get another job anywhere else after all this incident? You think somebody's gonna pick him up?
Yeah.
They're giving him as a position coach.
I mean,
I don't know right away about
first and foremost, he's passionate about coaching kids. I mean, that's the biggest thing that you want. And he ain't worrying about how much money you gonna pay me. He's passionate. That's why he said this.
He got his own
nephew.
money.
His nephew came there to play for them. I mean, he's passionate about coaching. You got to be able to hire somebody like that.
All right. So we had a hour 30 minutes now, fellas. Man, some Wildcats podcast coming to you live from some Wildcat Studios. Man, it's season number 5, episode 1. We're back, and man, this is how we have to end the show every week, man, with that FIUU candidate of the week. And I think it's real simple this week. Keith put it in his show notes, and I think we're gonna run with it, man. It's the 5 officers that brutally murdered Kyrie Nichols. We're not gonna celebrate it too much. I don't even think we need to even put them in a school. We know where they need to be at. They're gonna be in that shop program and in some jail, man. So y'all give it up one time for them Bammers. Them 5 officers, man.
Fuck them. I ain't clapping for them.
Yeah. So there you have it, man. Show number 1, season number 5. You know, I'm about to ask you the question, Keith. Where can they check us out again? When will we be back for our episode number 2 of season number 5? Keith, tell the peoples, man.
We're going 2 weeks. We're going 3 weeks. We're going Saturday, Sunday.
It's always been 2 weeks.
Hey, man. Sir. Hold on, man. What the heck is Twitch? Where did that come from?
And why I say
we talked about this before. We don't know what this is.
Yeah, why I say Craig Black Twitch?
And then we get Twitch, and we getting spam from the Twitch at that.
What the world? Where does Twitch come from, man?
Yeah, as y'all see, peoples, these dudes have no idea. So hey, I'm trying to get. I'm working with. I'm trying to get him here.
Nobody else over here has a Twitch account.
We'll let
nobody.
We'll let them be 150 years old like they are. Okay, we'll just let them stay right like where they are. All right. So as we do every week, man, we show love to Black owned businesses, and we show a lot of love. So I got a special love I got to show to a Black owned business. 12 Creations, my man Adam. I'm about to bring it up. My man Adam. 12 Creations. He made this plaque for my foundation, my program, Community Cuts for Kids, and he does this. He has a lot. It's something coming. I got something special coming for the fellas too.
Adam Reed.
My man Adam Reed, man.
Okay.
Adam, man. Adam Reed hooked it up. Community Cuts for Kids. 2023 is coming. He made this for me for my program, and something special coming for the fellas.
That's the wood jump Black?
Yes, the wood jump. It's the wood.
Okay.
It's the real jump. Adam, he said he came up with this side hustle during the pandemic, and he's been running with it. He does a lot of logos for sports teams as well. So I had to shout out my man Adam Reed at 12 Creations for putting it down. And he's very affordable too, man. The quality of the work is great. Though,
you said that's a wood. It's wood. It's made out of wood.
That's straight up wood, man. Straight up wood. It's heavy. That thing heavy. He gives you.
He got some stuff on his page that's
you
nice
can hang
too.
it on the wall. He does a lot, man. Adam Reed, man. Y'all check that dude out on Facebook. All right. 12 Creations. And also shout out.
Hey, before we get off, Black, Lynn put the times out there. Lynn, that 100 time is okay. That 200 time is real nice. The 24 is real nice. That 25 is okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about Lynn stuff.
47 on that relay
when we log out. Yeah, let's talk about Lynn stuff when we log out.
Lynn was a part of the show. That's why I answered Lynn's question.
Yeah, we can log out and get off of face grab.
Once again, shout out to all the black-owned businesses. Shout out to my girl Lynn. We got big ups, Henderson Automotive. I actually went down there 2 weeks ago and got alignment on my car, man. Shout out to the whole Henderson Automotive family in Queenstown, Maryland. Been around for the last 40-some years. Queenstown, Maryland, Henderson Motors, man. Shout out to them. Also, shout out to PJ's Coffee. They got 2 locations, one in Silver Spring and one in Bowie. Anthony's there every morning getting his beignets. Shout out to Mike Harris and his beautiful wife. And anybody else, before we get to the main black-owned business, any other shout-outs, any other love we want to spread out here?
Anthony, Lynn said stop being mean.
She had to go back and listen to some of the old shows to get out what his nickname is.
Len, we about to give you some time, Len.
And also, shout out to our resident black-owned business, Ezra Technologies, that specializes in
cybersecurity, facility management, construction management.
All right, y'all get up with Mr. Derek Bailey with that Ezra Technology. There you have it. It's a wrap, fellas. Thanks for checking us out. Any last words before we get up out of here? Anybody? Anyone? I guess
Len,
not.
don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere.
All right. Stay where you at, Len. Stay where you at. All right.
Now he want to be nice.
All right, there you have it. It's some Wildcats podcast. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Per Keith.
There you go. 2 weeks.
I said, now if you don't